After the attack of the Masters of Evil on Earth and Asgard, Thor is deemed unworthy by Mjolnir, and we see him laying in the snow in the middle of the Himalayas. Soon after, Mjolnir finds Thor and crashes down next to him. Thor is angry that Mjolnir won't leave him alone, and is a constant reminder that he is unworthy. Thor tries to lift Mjolnir with all his might, but is unable to. He just remembers how he failed to do so in Asgard as well as on Earth, and after this he just prefers to be left alone. But wherever he went, Mjolnir followed, making each passing moment remind Thor of his unworthiness. And now, even in the most remote corner in the world, Mjolnir finds him again. Thor, in his rage, begins to punch Mjolnir until his hands start to bleed. He notices someone say that is not how to throw a punch. This was Lee Kung, the Thunderer Guardian of Kunlun. Lee Kung told Thor that you punch with rage and not with focus, and that these blows end up hurting him more than it hurts the hammer. Thor lets him know that this was his goal and that he seeks only oblivion, and he is now the god of nothing. Lee Kung opens a portal and tells him, "Then you've come to the right place, for here all is God-forsaken." He takes Thor to the hidden city of Kunlun. Lee Kung tells him that his people fought valiantly, but could not win against the Masters of Evil, for the invaders burned all they found, flesh and stone alike. He shows Thor the one thing they couldn't burn, the immortal dragon Shou-Lao. Lee Kung asks Thor if he wants revenge on the Masters of Evil, but Thor tells him how could he possibly do this? He's not even worthy of lifting his weapon. Lee Kung tells him that he may be unworthy of one weapon, but perhaps his hands weren't meant to lift hammers. Lee Kung offers Thor to train to become the Iron Fist, as he says his training has already begun, and he tells him to keep punching the hammer. Mjolnir is made of Uru, the strongest substance in all the realms, strong enough to break worlds. We see Thor mercilessly punching the hammer day and night. As Thor's punches got stronger, Mjolnir began to dodge them, almost as if Thor's punches had made the hammer no pain. This encouraged Thor to punch it even harder. It came to a point where the hammer stopped dodging and began to fight back. Lee Kung tells Thor that the hammer is quaking in fear. He says, "Show it, Thor. Show it what kind of god you are. You're not the god of wind and rain. You're not the god of storms. You're the god who punches them." After receiving a blow from Thor's powerful punch, Mjolnir falls to the ground, indicating that it has been defeated. Lee Kung asks Thor if he will reclaim his hammer. Thor responds, "No." Lee Kung says, "Good," and punches Thor. Thor is confused and asks him what he's doing. Lee Kung says, "As I told you, I am the last guardian of Shou-Lao. I am your final trial. Thunderer versus Thunder God." Thor tells him, "I told you not to call me that," and punches Lee Kung so hard he throws him across Kunlun as he lands and breaks the door the dragon was behind. Lee Kung says he's never seen such a perfect punch and that it was an honor to lead Thor to his destiny. Thor sees that the dragon was nothing but bones and that Lee Kung lied to him. He was never training him to be the Iron Fist. He was training him to be the god of fists. Thor sees his hammer following him around once again. He tells Mjolnir that it can come, but stay out of his way. Suddenly, a streak of flame flashes through. Thor sees a flaming car, and inside is Ghost Rider and Ant-Man from different Earths. They tell him that this is great. They were just looking for Thor. Make sure to like and subscribe.